Hello everyone, Michael V here with another update on the 36 Ford. I have been looking at changing the tail lights out because these tail light stands right here, they just seem to stick out too far. Now these are either the medium or the short versions from the factory. They actually make even a longer one. I'm not sure which ones these are. I know they're not the longer ones. You guys can look online and you'll see what I mean. The issue that I have with them is that they stick out real far away from the body, especially when you put the actual tail light housing on the stand right here, the stand, and I'm afraid people will walk up and bounce into it or knock it and tear it up. There's actually guys online that talk about strengthening up the bottom of it to because people bump into them. So I'm just not a super fan. That's just me. I know this is part of the 36. Most people, most guys will take these, and I bought these just to see. These are 1939 taillights, and they're really cool because they're teardropped, and they certainly would look very good on the car, and they do look good on the car. But I thought I'd really like to keep my stuff original as possible. So what I'm gonna do, and I saw a couple guys online do this. I didn't see how they did it, but I'm gonna show you how I figured out how to do it. I'm gonna take an inch out of this, move this whole thing back an inch, and short it all up. That way I'll retain my 36 taillights and give it a little more of a custom look. So I'll show you how I started the process here in a minute. Okay, and just so as a point of reference, here's the driver's side with the gas cap. That was the other thing. I wanted to kind of keep the gas cap where it's supposed to be, but you can see these things still stick out pretty far. So we're going to shorten these things up about an inch, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so here's the challenge with these things. It's sort of hard to see it right here, but this is wider. This is wider from when you look at from the top than it is in the center right here. So it kind of tapers down. Let's see if I can show you from the top. You can see how it sort of tapers down. It necks down, okay? So what we need to do is we need to find center of the narrowest part of the neck and then work our way out on evenly. And I was trying to figure out how to do that, and then it came to me. Just use the calipers here. These are low dollar calipers that I bought. And basically what you do is you stick them over the neck, push on it so it's flush, and then mark it. That's what I did. I marked the center, and then I moved out a little bit like so, and then I moved out the other way, and you can see that they match it because it doesn't move. So it's giving me the actual width of what I need to cut out, and then that will make sure that when I rejoin this from here to there, that the diameters are going to be the same, so I don't have any kind of step or anything. That's the theory. We're going to cut on this thing and see what happens. I'm starting with the passenger side in case for some reason it gets messed up. I can find another one online pretty easily. The driver's side with the gas cap is a little different story. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Now what I figured out here is the distance basically between the center lines, which are right here. The distance from here out and from here out is roughly a half an inch. So that's basically a 1 inch wide gap. So what I'm going to use is a piece of 1 inch masking tape, and I'm going to run that around it so I have a cut guide, and that way when I cut it I'll have a straight guide to cut it with. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so I went ahead and put the masking tape on as my guide, and before I got into it I thought might be a good idea to do a quick weld test. So I just did a couple spot welds right there to make sure that this stuff's weldable. Sometimes on these 30s cars, you never know what kind of metal Henry Ford was using, and it could have been some kind of a casting or something, and that would have been a nightmare. So worked out pretty good. Looks like we're going to be able to weld this no problem. Let's get it cut. And for this cut, it's going to sound funny, but I'm going to use a hacksaw instead of a cutoff wheel or anything like that, because I'm going to be able to control the cut really well. And it's going to take a few more minutes, but that's okay because I can fine tune it very nicely. You can also use an air-powered tool or something like that, but for me, I like to use the old school stuff because it's easier for me to control the cut. Okay, I began my initial cut here on the left side of the screen, which you can see, and then I realized it's going to be very important to make sure that this lines up like it's supposed to clock the taillights properly and put everything back in where it's supposed to be. So I did what we call witness lines, which are these guys right here. And I did one on the top and then on the side. And the reason I do that is once you cut this, it's pretty easy to line everything back up. Just line up the lines and then everything will line up like it's supposed to. Just another little tip that I learned from a guy a while back. Okay, here's the passenger side, 1 inch cut out, witness marks lined up. A whole lot better shortened up like that, at least in my opinion. It's my car, so I like it. That's really what counts. Everything lined up perfect. There's no overlap. There's no problems. We did this one the right way. Now I'm going to work on the driver's side with the fuel tank. So theory and reality worked out good for this time. Okay, here's the driver's side with the gas cap intact. Shortened up. I really like it. Witness marks lined up perfect. No overlap. It's a perfect butt weld. And I'll go ahead and finish that all up and get it all done. But there you go. It's nice and square like it's supposed to be. Yeah. Always nice when theory and reality works out the best. That's how you shorten them up. We'll see you next time.